Picture this, it's 2026. Muhammad Ali steps into the ring against Tyson Fury, the dancing destroyer versus the Gypsy King, a man who floated like a butterfly against a 6'9" giant who moves like a middleweight. Or imagine Joe Frazier stepping into the modern heavyweight division, smoking Joe with that relentless left hook against Oleksandr Usyk, the man who beat Ali against the man who dethroned the giants of today. Would these old school legends dominate today's fighters? Or would modern training and sports science expose them as relics of a simpler time? This question has started more wars in barbershops and comment sections than any title fight in history. Everyone has an opinion, but almost nobody has the truth. And I'm going to give you that truth today. But I need to warn you about something first. What I'm about to reveal will make you angry. It will make you question everything you thought you knew about modern boxing. And by the end of this video, you'll never watch a fight the same way again. Because here is what both sides are missing. This isn't about punch stats or reach advantages. This is about two completely different species of fighter. Two completely different philosophies of what it means to prepare a body for destruction. But there's one specific thing that old school fighters had that modern fighters have completely lost. Something that science can now measure. Something that explains why knockouts happen so easily today. I'll reveal exactly what that is in a few minutes. But first, you need to understand the foundation. This is not a boxing story. This is an autopsy of a style that is now extinct. Welcome to Street Fight Science. Before we compare eras, we need to understand why the old school guys were absolute monsters. And it starts with one word: toughness. Not the mental toughness that Instagram coaches sell in their courses. Real toughness, the kind that gets forged in basements with no air conditioning. The kind built through suffering that would put a modern athlete in therapy. Now stay with me here, because this next part is going to blow your mind. There is a biological reason why old school fighters were harder to hurt. A scientific explanation that researchers only discovered in the last decade. And when I explain it, everything will click into place. But first, let me show you the difference in how they lived. Fighters today step into the ring maybe 2-3 times a year. That's considered busy. But back in the day, these guys were fighting every few weeks, sometimes multiple times per month. Joe Frazier had 37 professional fights. He won 32 of them. But here's what's insane. Before he even turned professional, he had over 100 amateur fights. 100. Let that sink in. Henry Armstrong defended his welterweight title 27 times in less than 2 years. That's more fights than some modern champions have in their entire careers. 27 title defenses in 24 months. Why did they fight so often? Simple. There were no $1 million paydays, no sponsorship deals. If you didn't fight, you didn't eat. If you didn't win, your family went hungry. These guys stayed in shape year-round because there was no time for layoffs. Just pure survival mode. Now here's where it starts to get dark, and I mean really dark. Their training wasn't just intense, it was borderline insane. And I need you to pay close attention to what I'm about to describe, because this is the key to understanding everything. Take Rocky Marciano, undefeated heavyweight champion. He ran 7 miles a day, not in cushioned running shoes, in army boots. Heavy, stiff, unforgiving boots that would destroy a modern athlete's shins. He chopped wood for hours, not as a publicity stunt, as serious training. He believed it would make his punches harder. And the science now proves he was right. That rotational movement builds oblique strength that no modern machine can replicate. Joe Frazier trained in a meat locker, not a gym, a meat locker, punching frozen slabs of beef until his knuckles bled. Then he would wrap them up and do it again the next day. Roberto Duran trained like a monster who escaped from hell. He would spar hundreds of rounds before a fight, not dozens, hundreds, rotating through fresh sparring partners while he just kept going. His philosophy was simple. If the gym was hell, the fight would feel like a vacation. Their mindset was pure brutality. Train until you break, then train some more. Now here is the science I promised you, and this is the part that will change how you see everything. The old-timers had a saying, the more you bleed it in the gym, the less you bleed in the ring. Most people think that's just motivational nonsense. But there is a real physiological reason why their methods worked. It's called Wolff's Law. By constantly subjecting their bodies to controlled trauma, they were building what I call a facial shield, a layer of internal armor that modern fighters simply do not develop. They would stand still while trainers slammed medicine balls into their stomachs. Full force, over and over, until their core muscles became like plated steel. Jake LaMotta would let sparring partners hit him in the body at full power, round after round. He wanted his ribs to memorize what real punishment felt like, so nothing in the ring could ever surprise him. His legendary durability wasn't genetics. It was manufactured through systematic abuse of his own body. But wait, I told you there was one specific thing that old school fighters had that modern fighters have lost. Something that explains why knockouts happen so easily today. Here it is, and I guarantee you've never heard anyone talk about this. The neck. Walk into any gym in 2026 and count how many people are training their neck. Almost zero. Everyone wants biceps and abs for Instagram. Nobody works on the one muscle that actually keeps you conscious when someone tries to knock your head off. But in the 1940s and 50s, neck training was considered more important than anything else. Here's why this matters so much. When a punch lands on your chin, the danger isn't the impact itself. It's the rotational acceleration of your brain inside your skull. I call this the brain-slosh effect. That whipping motion is what causes knockouts. A thick neck reduces that rotation. It acts like a biological shock absorber. Floyd Patterson did neck bridges for 30 minutes every single day. Mike Tyson did 500 neck bridges daily. His neck measured 20 inches thick, the same width as his head. Joe Frazier's neck was so thick that Ali's hardest punches couldn't put him down for good. He kept coming, round after round, because his neck was built like a tree trunk. Modern fighters have thin necks because modern training ignores this completely, and the knockout rates prove it. Today's fighters get dropped by shots that old school fighters would have walked through without blinking. This isn't opinion. This is physics. Now I know some of you are thinking, but modern fighters are more athletic. They're faster. They're smarter. And you're right. So let me be fair here. Boxing has evolved. Today's fighters have real advantages. Take Canelo Alvarez. His training isn't about throwing punches for hours. He does resistance band drills, plyometrics, weighted shadow boxing. Every punch is optimized for maximum explosive force with minimum energy. And then there's defense. Old school fighters would take punches to give up punches. Toughness was their shield. But modern defense is on a completely different level. Floyd Mayweather built his entire career on one principle: not getting hit. Tyson Fury uses footwork and head movement that fighters from the past simply didn't develop to the same degree. So here comes the real question, the one that starts wars in every boxing gym. If we drop the greatest old school fighters into today's era, would they dominate or would they get exposed? My answer is controversial, and some of you are going to disagree violently, but I've spent months researching this, and I'm going to tell you exactly who would thrive and who would get destroyed. First, the legends who would dominate any era. Muhammad Ali would adapt. His fight IQ would still be elite by any standard. He might need time to adjust to the size of modern heavyweights, but Ali always found a way. That was his genius. Joe Frazier would be a nightmare for modern heavyweights. That relentless pressure, that devastating left hook, that refusal to take a single step backward. Usyk has movement, but he's never faced someone who walks through everything to get to you. Frazier would make Usyk fight his fight, and Usyk wouldn't like it. Roberto Duran would overwhelm the defensive specialists of today. Modern fighters have never faced someone with that level of controlled violence coming at them for 12 rounds without a single break. George Foreman would terrify modern heavyweights. At 6'3" 3 inches and 220 pounds in his prime, with one punch knockout power in both hands, he would fit right into today's division. And the way he cut the ring off? Nobody today does that as well as Foreman did. But not everyone would transition smoothly. And this is where it gets uncomfortable for some of you. Jack Dempsey was a pure brawler. Against a defensive master like Mayweather, he might never land a clean punch. His style required opponents who would stand and trade. Modern fighters don't stand and trade. Rocky Marciano fought at 185 pounds. Today's heavyweights are 270 pounds with the same speed. The size difference might be too much, even for his legendary heart. Joe Louis had power that could end any era's fighter, but his footwork was slow by modern standards. Against Tyson Fury or Usyk, He might struggle to land before getting picked apart from range. So what's the final answer? Yes, old school fighters could survive, but with adjustments. The truly elite, Ali, Frazier, Foreman, Duran, would adapt because their skills were ahead of their time. Greatness translates across eras. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The part that's going to make some of you uncomfortable. Boxing isn't a spreadsheet. It's a back alley opera. Today's fighters are smarter, fitter, better prepared by every measurable metric. But the old school guys fought for more than belts. They fought because they had something to prove. To the world that doubted them. To the voices in their heads that whispered they would never be enough. Joe Frazier came from a family of sharecroppers in South Carolina. He left home at 15. He worked in a slaughterhouse and trained at night because that was the only time he had. When he finally got his title shot, it wasn't for glory. It was because his family was depending on him. You think modern fighters understand that pressure? These men came from poverty, from streets that taught them weakness equals death. The ring was just another battlefield in a life already full of battles. You can't download that hunger. You can't optimize that desperation. Modern fighters are professionals who chose a career. Old school fighters were survivors who found the only way out of hell. And when the lights get too bright and the pressure becomes unbearable, that's when the difference between a professional and a survivor becomes everything. Old school fighters weren't better boxers. They were better sufferers. And in a fight to the death, the man who can suffer the longest is the man who walks home. Now I need to talk to you directly. Just you and me. If you made it this far, you're not a casual viewer. You're a real student of this sport. And that means you're exactly who I'm making these videos for. Here's the honest truth. Street Fight Science is a small channel. We can't even monetize these videos yet because YouTube requires 1,000 subscribers first. Every single video you've watched on this channel was made with zero financial return. Pure passion for telling the stories mainstream channels are too scared to tell. I'm not asking for charity. I'm asking for a partnership. If this video taught you something new, if it changed how you see boxing, I need you to do 3 things. And I mean right now, before you forget. First, hit subscribe. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we can finally monetize and pour that money back into even better breakdowns. Better research, the kind of content that respects your intelligence. Second, smash that like button. Our goal is 1,000 likes on this video. Just 1,000 people saying, yeah, this was worth my time. One click tells YouTube to show this to more people who actually care about boxing. Third, drop a comment with your answer to this question. If you put prime Joe Frazier against 2026 Oleksandr Usyk, 15 rounds, no judges, fight until one man can't continue, who walks out? I read every single comment personally, and I'll be in there arguing with you. Now here's the thing that most people miss when they click away from a video. If you think this breakdown was deep, you haven't seen anything yet. I made a video exposing the hidden cost of Mike Tyson's peekaboo style, the physical damage nobody talks about, why his spine is destroyed today, why that fighting style is actually a biological death sentence. If you want to understand why Tyson paid with his body for every knockout, you need to watch that video next. Click it now before you forget. Or maybe you want to understand how Evander Holyfield engineered the downfall of the most feared heavyweight in history, the science behind his preparation, the blueprint for destroying a god. If you've ever wondered how a blown-up cruiserweight broke the myth of Iron Mike twice, that video has every answer. The choice is yours, but don't leave without watching at least one. Because what you just learned here today, that's just the beginning. The deeper you go, the more secrets you'll find. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for caring about the truth when most people just want highlight reels. Stay focused, stay analytical, stay savage. This is Street Fight Science. I will see you in the next one.